Okie dokie. How'd you like to take an IQ test? I don't actually believe in IQ tests. I've never taken one myself, and nor do I believe in them. Specifically, IQ tests are about memorizing crap that has nothing to do with practical nature of life, because there's two things. There's episteme and there's gnosis. One is empirical knowledge, and the other one is wisdom. Specifically, when you and I went to college and high school, and I don't have any affinity for anybody that went to college. I spent countless years in college, and of course a total piss waste of time, is that you're taught how to memorize stuff, and of course you return and you regurgitate crap. And of course that is not learning, nor is it teaching anyone how to be a creative thinker. Memorization and being able to regurgitate facts, or episteme, has nothing to do with true intelligence in the general connotative sense. Denotatively that would be accurate, but specifically when we're referring to what the ancients referred to as a true seer, someone that actually has wisdom. This has nothing to do with episteme. For example, of course, there are naked or half-naked sannyasins. There's a word that you're probably not familiar with, that live in caves and out in the woods, and they never went to school or college, and they don't know how to read or write, and they're some of the most wise people on earth. There's certainly not many of those, but this of course means that you've met a lot of people like that. They're very intelligent, but they'll stick their finger in a light socket. They're so stupid. This is, of course, what we refer to as the intelligent idiot, which is seemingly contradictory to, by the way, an idiot. Someone can't be an idiot and intelligent. It's like, oh yeah, girlfriend, I met a lot of them. Specifically, human beings have 5 types of armor, or combinations thereof. One, we have intelligence, episteme, strength. Number 3 is charisma. Number 4 is the beauty. Number 5 is the rarest, of course, that being wisdom. Most people are never blessed with the full amounts of 2. Dare to say 3. 3 is really 3 would be like 1 in 500 million. So, you know, this is just the armor by which human beings are able to survive. You know, you either get by on intelligence or strength, and of course, strength and beauty don't last that long, right? I mean, you could be like pumped up like Schwarzenegger, and that's not going to last all that long, right? Everybody you've ever seen that was just like covered in muscles, they're like a tree of muscles, they have to like work 10 hours a day to keep that up. And of course, that isn't really useful in today's world anymore. I mean, you get by on wisdom and intellect, not on strength, because back in the day when, of course, you know, wielding a sword and being able to lop heads off with the strength and you know, the dexterity you had, which was very important, is obviously not that important anymore. You know, unless you're a steel worker or somebody in really hardcore manual labor, strength isn't that important. This has nothing to do with, of course, stamina. That's something different. But specifically, people are caught up in the cult of personality. The one thing I actually noticed in debating what's different for debate, there's the facts and then there's not the facts, is that people fall into this cult of personality. And if you are, so to say, analogously, one of those people that will eat a donut made out of crap, so long as it's covered in sugar sprinkles, one thing I got noticed of about, and I'm not going to give any specifics, is that someone referred to someone else as being a class act. And I don't think I'm not, I'm not a class act. I don't sell stuff. And I'm certainly a no BS sort of person. I never ask anybody to subscribe or to like, but it really is an IQ test. You know, if you're wooed by charisma and superficiality, I will be very blunt in saying that you're not all that intelligent. Hi, how are you doing? Hi. You know, this sort of continuance is the cult of personality. This is specifically charisma. If, of course, you know, putting on, there's some saying from the 1920s, like the best way to stab someone and murder them is to wear a 3-piece suit and smile. I think that comes from I think that actually dates all the way back to the 1930s or 40s. You know, putting on a nice suit, looking good, and slapping on a Rolex. Yeah, and having good charisma, this has no bearing or chain of causation that would lead one who has intelligence or wisdom to conclude that that is the the accuracy of the matter. And psychologically, it's always interesting to analyze people and where they fall. It's like, well, these are the same people that followed like Jim Jones down to French Guiana. You know who Jim Jones was? That's purely charisma, pure charisma. But it's actually a really important point we make in life. I mean, it's kind of like if someone has armor that's beauty, they can get anywhere and do anything. We all know this, right? It's like you could take like some hot chick with their tatas pushed up, and it's like, hi, and she's like, she gets a dinner. I don't know. It's just an experiment. Someone should do like a hidden camera, like buy really expensive. It's like, oh my God, I forgot my money. I'll be right back. It's like, okay, ma'am. It's something that no one else would be able to get by. That's a form of armor. Or charisma. You could woo your way out of it. It's like, oh, dear sir, I see that you're a kindred soul. I have happened to misplace my wallet, and I think that, you have good looks on you, that I'm going to take a taxi home forthwith and return with the money for this meal. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. That's charisma, right? Human beings have these 5 armors, and it's a natural attribute of humans. I mean, it's the survival of the fittest. People think survival of the fittest means the fittest, meaning like this, right? But this, that's not so important in today's world. It is in some areas, but it is an IQ test for people, and I'm not swayed by charisma and beauty. I mean, obviously, I certainly appreciate beauty, and charisma, of course, is endearing, but it's only endearing to superficial minds that are wooed by charisma. And I'm very easy to be able to spot that defect in humanity. I myself believe that I would rather read a book covered in crap that is full of facts, page to page, than read a gold-plated book full of crap. And most people are not like that, though. This is not about judging a book by its cover, nor about the way that I look. Obviously, I don't have charisma, and I certainly don't have beauty, obviously. And I'm certainly mostly fat and less muscle, so I don't have the strength. But I certainly have the intelligence and the wisdom, and I'm gifted with that. I don't know how much of it is gifted and how much of it is acquired, because I spent a lot of time acquiring it. But that's an important IQ test. All these important things, generally, are things that we should have been taught in school. It's like, learn to recognize when charisma is covering up bullcrap. Okay? You should have been taught that, and I wasn't taught that in school. I know you weren't. No one's teaching stuff like that. Learn to see when charisma and or beauty, or both thereof, is covering up bullshit. Because it is the case that is a rare human being that has 2, and insanely rare that a human being has 3 of the 5. Intelligence, strength, charisma, intellect, and wisdom. So, someone has a lot of charisma and they've skated by their entire life, just like some beautiful person. It's like, oh, whatever you want, dear. You go on and take it. We all know this is true. It's not that means that a person can't be intelligent or wise, but it causes atrophy. It's kind of like being born with a golden wheelchair. Like you're born as a billionaire's son, and they tell you, you never need to walk again. We've got you a motorized wheelchair. You just push the button. What would happen after, obviously, a few years is that your legs would start to shrivel, and you would, and this is the case, someone has a lot of charisma or a lot of beauty, or both, or one or the other. The muscles of intellect and wisdom, if there ever were any to begin with, are not exercised. Now, is this a generalization? Yes, but what stupid human beings, and there's a lot of stupid human beings, fail to realize is that a generalization exists because it is generally true. Generalizations exist because, why don't people realize, well, you're making a generalization. It's like, yeah, I am making a generalization, but a generalization exists because they are generally true. This is the fallacy of specificity. I think it's called the fallacy of specificity, where you can't make a general statement because it's not always applicable, but it is generally applicable, and that is why generalizations exist. And someone that has charisma, intellect, and wisdom are atrophied. And this is always the case in any examination of other people that I know. But, a lot of people really fall for the superficiality of charisma. And they will believe anything, just like the person that will eat a donut made out of dog crap as long as you stick some sugar sprinkles on top. And not literally, but you know what I mean. That's one of the failings of human individuals, that because you were not taught this stuff in school. It's like, learn to recognize when charisma and beauty is covering up for bullshit. Why weren't you taught that in school? You know, you should have been taught that. I wasn't taught that. Yeah. Yep. Thank you so much for watching, and catch you later. And man, it snowed today. I hate this weather. This weather makes me sick. It's like it's almost April. Global warming my ass. Goodbye.